Hi there, it's Elaine here, and today we're going to start with my first tag challenge. Now, you'll probably notice by the title, I've actually called it Pick a Pocket. And what that actually means is I'm going to select a journal and choose a pocket from a journal that hasn't got anything in it. As I said in my plan video for this year, I was going to choose pockets that I've never seemed to fill in my journals. I make the pockets when I create the journal or as I'm going along, but I end up not actually filling the pocket with anything. So I'm going to choose a pocket, and today I've chosen my Old Dutch. There's quite a lot of pockets in here that haven't got anything in them. And I want to create the ladies on a tag like this one. So this is going to be the one I'm going to base all of the tags for today on. Now I'm going to make one tag for the actual pocket, but I do intend to make more than one. We'll see how that goes. I don't quite know how that will work. It depends on how long the video gets, really, more than anything. So I'm going to try and keep them so that you can join in if you want to, make a tag along with me, or it's basically inspiration for you as well as myself. The idea for me is to create multiple things to have in my stash, so when I do have happy mails and things I want to send out, I've actually got things to choose from rather than having to make everything from scratch, which why it takes me so long to make happy mail. So, or send out happy mail, and there's quite a lot of happy mails that I should be sending. You ladies who watch me will know who you are. And this is my plan, really, is to create enough things without having to do it individually for each separate happy mail or journal that needs a tag, or at least something to go in it. I mean, I'm doing this as tags, but I could, just make journaling cards, really. I think what I might do for that is just do a craft along with me for that one. My chatty journal alongs and things like that, really, for that. So for today, we're going to do one of the ladies. I've already pre-chosen my pocket, partly because she fits very well in this pocket here, and she stands, quite nicely. You can still see most of her coming out of the pocket. Obviously I'm going to create one that suits this pocket, but she's my base. Now, I used to have this as an open pocket, but I've actually just made it as a side one now. And I might do that at a later date. I'm not going to do that today because I'm going to concentrate on this kind of, not just the size, but the type. So it's going to have a lady on it. It's going to have the pattern tissue paper as well as the pattern pieces as well. Flowers, maybe washi, maybe lace, maybe fabrics, that sort of thing. So, and definitely buttons. I like the buttons. This is just one card, and I still haven't got round to backing it. So they are actually sewn directly through the card, and I'll show you how I'll do that as well. So this is my pocket for today. This was probably the first main pocket in this book that hasn't got anything in it. There are a few others, but they've sort of got bits in, like this one, for instance, but I didn't want to choose those. And there's other things that I want to do for other pockets which are slightly further back. So this one is the one I created alongside doing the collaboration with Barbara from 49 Dragonflies. So I used the same die cut book, but I'm obviously not going to do that for the tag. So, tags. Now, I'm lucky enough to have a couple of punches, if you can see that. This is a Vasen Creative tab punch, and the different sizes slightly make the different tops. So I've got a few here that are already pre-done. I won't necessarily use them today. So that's the 2-inch one. That is actually, that was thin, and I actually lined that up in that kind of section there. So I just got that loopy bit at the top there. So that's, well, I can show you on that bit. So it's like that really. And I didn't have these bits. So it depends on the size of the card that you put in. And you slot it into this part. And each one's measured. I don't know whether you can see it. Let's see if I can get you to see it. So that's 1.5, which is this part. Then there's 2, and then there's 2.5. So the 2.5 is all of that one. It does make a little bit of a mark, but I think that's because it's punching the hole as well at the same time. So I've got some of those made already. I've got various little ones as well done, as well as some tiny ones. But these are actually from a die. I cut them out on my die machine. And there's a few other little bits in there. So we're not going to do the little ones today, but I just thought I'd show you anyway. I'm going to use some different colour cardstock. I've got some cream ones. I've got, what I think I'm going to use is this colour for this particular tag. It's the same size, slightly wider, partly because I want to keep the tag itself within the frame, and this pocket is will, you know, take it. You can't see it properly, can you? Hang on, that's better, isn't it? So this pocket will take a slightly wider, and I can then keep the whole of the tag decoration within the frame of this. It depends on how it goes, whether I back it or not, really. So we'll decorate that one up, I think, and I will put the cutouts on as I go along, really. Now, I've got 2 ways of doing my cutouts, because I know a lot of people cut one side and flip it over. I actually think it doesn't always work very well. So I've got templates, and they're different sizes, which really, you know, you can choose which one you want. But I've also made a plastic card, and this is just an old European health insurance card that's out of date now. And what I do is I cut part of a corner, and they're all different sizes. I haven't done one on this corner. And then I can just cut down those, and then when I flip it over, they are both exactly the same. As long as you line it up with the side of the card, they should actually be the same, depending on which one you want to use. I mean, that one's quite a deeper one, which would be quite nice. I think that's more or less what I did on here, I think. Yeah. So this one, being a taller tag, can take a deeper cut. And that way you haven't got to think about where you want to put it, because you've already got a template that you can use. So you can use both of those. You can do it with another bit of card as well. I've got them on both ends. I've only got the big one and the slightly shorter one. I haven't got the little tiddly one. So I thought, well, when you've got a smallish card like these, you only need a little tiddly cut off, really, don't you? I don't think I used it on that one. I actually have got other ones of these. I couldn't find them, so I've had to recreate this one because I couldn't find my originals, because that's how long ago I made tags. So I'm going to work on this one for this particular pocket. But as I say, you know, I've made different colours, and I might choose a cream one, or I mean, obviously my purple ones, they could go in my purple journal at some point. I do have that up here with me. And I have lots of ladies cut out. I've also got pre-made tags. This is my pre-made tag case, which are quite nice, because these are, I've got some that are different colours as well. They're a little bit marked because they have a paper clip attaching them in the, so they're all splayed out in the packaging. They are a little bit damaged on the odd one, and they come in 4 colours. Yeah, there we are. They're the 4 colours that came in that pack. I think they've got them from Wilko's here in the UK. Oh no, they're the Works. These are Wilko's. These are the ones I got from Wilko's. These ones, they're proper luggage labels. The only trouble is with these, they've already got the reinforcers on them, so I don't know about using them yet. Then I've also got some nice shape ones, and they come from the Works as well. They came like this. You get the strings with them, and some little sort of kind of textured ones. I can't remember where these come from, or whether somebody sent me them. They might have come from Enika, I'm not sure. She'll probably tell me if she remembers. So I've got tags as well that are pre-made. Sorry, I think I'll probably just bash my mic then. Ladies. So here are my ladies. I've got some of them cut, and I've got a few that I need to cut if I decide on what colours I'm going to do. So for this tag, I think I've selected a lady, but I haven't sort of checked it out on the tag whether she stands out enough. I'm going to put background down, so she should do. Where are you? Where are you, lady? So here's a few that I've got cut out. Just a few. See if we can find her. Oh, there she is. I was going to use her. Oh yeah, she's quite nice on there, isn't she? She's a little bit big, but I did like her. But I'd have to chop her feet off, which I don't want to do. Let's just pop them back in there. So we'll start working on her. I do quite like that one. She looks quite nice on there as well. This one is a bit long. I could cut them down. Can you see? No, you can't. A bit too high. It's not a journal along. She might make a bit of a shadow. I don't know, because I've propped it up in front of me. Luckily my lights are above me, so they are a little bit yellow, but then my actual room is yellow, so that's why I get a little bit of a yellow glow, because my walls are painted yellow, because I wanted it bright in here when I used to work. So they will go on, but I'd have to chop a little bit off of the bottom, or I could actually separate them. And so they're quite nice to do. As I say, I quite like her. She looks quite good on. She might be better on a paler one. Let's see. Oh yeah, she looks quite nice on there, doesn't she? So should we set some up? Don't know whether that one will go. See, I'd have to chop her feet off. I don't like chopping feet off because I actually like the shoes. And that time, I love stiletto shoes. But I can't wear them anymore. When I got married, my husband and I are not very different in height because I'm quite tall. He's not quite 6 foot. He's about ½ inch under 6 foot. So he's tall, you know, but I'm 5'9½". Well, I was. I don't know whether I still am now. So she had a little bit still sticking out there. I didn't like it. Oh. And I had to find the smallest stiletto possible so I didn't tower over him. So I did. I literally had inch stiletto heels when I got married, and plus also I was able to wear them all day, which I'm not very good in heels, and I'm even worse now that I've got arthritis in my hips, because the only thing I can wear are trainers. I've got good trainers, I must admit. So she'll go on one of them as well. She's quite nice, isn't she? We could put her maybe on a red one. Oops, that's the thinner one. Maybe not. I don't know. I think maybe she could do with a cream one as well. So we'll prop her over there for now. I wonder if I've got a longer one. I think I'm going to have to cut that one apart. Ooh. These definitely need cutting apart. The trouble is where they, you know, like this bit, she's okay because she's complete other than this little bit here. As you can see, when they're on the page, they cross over each other because basically they're patterns. So when you're trying to cut them apart, her dress is covering the orange one, and this one is more or less complete. She's just got no feet, because you can sort of see I've cut one out from this before. But these are the ones I cut out from I did my Christmas December dailies. I got these out. I did them because I wanted wintry, because like she's got a coat on. I wanted to pick more wintry type clothing. This came out of one of my magazines. I don't think it was the one I got at Christmas, but I just photocopied them quickly. I haven't actually scanned them in. Some of mine are out of copyright, so I can use them, but others aren't. So it depends on, obviously I don't sell my journals. I don't sell anything of mine. It's all of my work will go to people that are friends, and I want to send them happy mail or that sort of thing. So, or they're going to be in my own journals. So I don't really have too much of a copyright problem because I'm not selling it. So, and that is the biggest thing. You shouldn't really copy it at all if they're not out of copyright. But because I don't sell my work, it shouldn't be too much of a problem really. So I think I was having trouble with my printer where the ink was running out. She looks like she's got a bit of lines in her really. But so I might not use her. I like these, but they're rather large. So I need to probably use them on a page. So we'll discard those out the mix. These I think I'm going to have to cut apart. And I might cut this apart because I fancy using a yellow for some reason. I don't know why. It looks quite nice on there, doesn't it? But obviously I'm going to put backgrounds down, so they're not going to be staying. They're going to have the background down on it. So let's get cracking, shall we? Too much waffle, not enough. Cut these two apart. Oh, that keeps sliding off. I need that in a minute. So I've found a card that it suits. I've cut her away from the other one. I think it was an orange lady. These two are together, but I've selected a card for them. This is the one we're working on for my journal, but I've also set up some of the others as well. The next thing we need to do is do some background. Now I've got some patterns. This is all the you know, the instructions for the patterns. They're different ones. They're all different ones. This is some kind of tunic or dress or something. I think it's a child's pattern, this one. Now I'm going to use that on the background, which is what I've done here and here. So I think I covered the whole background with this sort of paper. And then I put tissue on, which is what these with the markings on. Now I've been lucky enough that my mum used to make clothes for me when I was a child, and I think she used to make some for herself, but I used to get all sorts of dresses, so I haven't got any of those here. But so these patterns are actually, they're pieces, they're already pre-cut, so I can use the numbers and I can use all the writing and various things. Yeah, this is a child one because that's the same pattern as that one. And then I've been lucky enough that with this particular one, which is not that one, it's a different number, so this is a different colour. I'm not quite sure why, but I had some of these pieces did come out of here, but this particular one, I've not seen this colour before, and I think it's something to do with the sizing. So I've got two colours to choose from. Now if you do have patterns, or you can get patterns or whatever, sometimes you can pick them up in charity shops and things like that, or if you know somebody that used to make clothes and they're getting rid of their patterns, which is what these are my mum's. She's given me. I mean, I actually learnt to sew. Sorry, I keep hitting the mic. I actually learnt to sew. My mum taught me to sew when I was young, and then I did it at school, which actually was a complete failure because I had to do it the proper way, where my mum did have her own little quirky ways of doing stuff. And so we're going to use these on the background. I'm not going to use these at the moment unless I feel that one of these suits it better. So I'll stick with the traditional colour for now. So let's get piecing it together. Oh, that's a nice bit. I've obviously used that on that one. I think that came out, some of this came out of this particular piece, I would imagine. Right, we'll keep that. Shall we try and see if we can keep that so you can kind of see how I'm putting it together? Right, I'm gonna have to move some of these out of the way so I can work on this one, but they will be sort of in shot a bit. So my main plan obviously is to work on this one, short side. Actually, we'll work on this side. This is kind of the back of the paper. It's a different feel to it. It's slightly rougher on the back, and I will be covering that anyway, so the back side will be smoother. What do we want? What do we want? So we're going to start off with some of these. Oh, I don't want to bury my scissors in case I need them. Generally I'm going to work on this one, but then you might suddenly see that I've done the same with all of them, and so my plan is to try and do them all at the same time, but obviously I need to concentrate on the one for the pocket. So, right, I'd like some of this piece, so let's just rip that down. Sorry about the noise. Necessary when you're working with paper. I'm going to take that bit off there. I quite like the line and I like the numbers anyway. Right, so this does come in different languages, so it might be nice to use some of the French or the Spanish. So yeah, let's lose a bit of the foreign text as well. Right, I'm going to put it up in the corner. And I'm going to take it down there like that. And then I might put some of the foreign text at the bottom. Yeah, let's go that way. And oh, I don't like the back. It's just got simplicity written on it. Let's do a bit of Espanol. As again, I will have duplicated curvy bits. Thing is, I quite like that wrinkly edge, so I think I will move it over. And we'll have Espanol poking out like that, I think. Let's just take that little bit off there, I don't want that. Because I like to leave a very, very thin border around most of it. I mean, I don't have to do it in every place. That's not really working there, is it? Let's have it poking out there. Oh, that's not working. Take a little bit of this off, so we can have it sitting there like that. That's better, isn't it? Yep. I might have to just take that edge off because it's going over the edge. I don't mind the lady going over the edge if you know, I do that on some of the others, but I don't want the background going over the edge. So I think I might do it like that. And then I think we'll do that like that. Yep, that's okay. Get rid of those bits. I think I'm happy with that. There we go. There we go. Still want to see some of that curve. So we'll stick that down and we'll move on to putting some tissue. So I've just had a little play around with it and I thought, actually, what is the point in having the blue card if I don't see half of it? So I've decided to bring this down a little bit so there's a lot more at the top to see. And I've cut, well, I've ripped out some of the this one, but I still had a little bit poking out there, and I've put this so that we can see bits and pieces of the blue card. So I'm a bit happier with that. And then she will sit, her feet will be over some of the card. She will sit about there like that. And then I'll do some tissue sort of down here because it's a little bit blank, and I might put some I'll find some various things on the tissue. I do like to have things placed in a certain way It still has to look pleasing, but there is always a reason behind why I do something. I mean, some people are like that, some people aren't, you know, they just pop it down and that's it. But I do like to find the right placement for it. It's like this one, I deliberately made her arm go over the edge. What I really need to do is put a backing card on it that is actually wider, so that doesn't really hang over quite so much, because in time it's getting a little bit bent, obviously. But obviously she's quite streamlined, so she can just sort of sit in the middle, and she's got kind of quite a light outfit on, so I do want to pick out a flower or something that's in this sort of colour range. You know, these are my mum's cross stitch. They're poppies that she did, and I've scanned them in and cut them out. Right, so that's the next step, is to stick this down for now, the base, and then we'll work on tissue paper. That's it, tissue paper. Don't even know what word, the words aren't coming out today. I'm a bit late doing this. I did intend to do it a little bit sooner than what I have done it, I'm afraid. I'm sorry about that. There has been a few little things. I mean, my husband had his vaccination last week, and scoot that over a bit. Stick that one down. It's got a little bit of a rogue bit going on there. And then, so we need to place that there. You don't have to see it all, but the plan is to try and see some of it. And then this bit, I'm going to put something like that, I think. So what I'll do is I will stick some glue down so I know where I want it. And I will glue it down. Don't have to glue every last little bit down, because obviously each layer that you put down will stick it down anyway. So this one needs to be done on here because it's quite big. My glue's a bit gloopy. It gets quite cold up here, so it tends to be a little bit like that. Now I've got to get this to go right now, haven't I? What I want is a fairly gaps, but I also, well, I kind of want it straight. That would be helpful, wouldn't it? There we go. Now you can see lots of border. I think I need my cloth. Here's my bone folder. There's a nice bubble there in the middle. Oops. I think that corner could do with sticking down though. It won't crease so much then. Right, that should be it. That might need a little bit along there because I don't know whether anything will go over that. So that's the base down. So she will go in the middle like that. That's it. You can still see some of the number. And her head will be above the actual paper. And her shoes will be on the blue. That was the plan anyway. So there's nice lots of lines in some of this tissue. Because they're different sizes, you cut them depending on the size you want. So we're going to go... It doesn't tear very well, this stuff. So we just get what we get. I do quite like those though. Don't know whether I want it that way round. Don't need that much. Let's halve that a bit. Don't know whether I like it there. And the thing is with this, I mean, you'll still be able to see the teal behind it. Let's see what else we can find. Any other? There's some nice scoopy lines here, isn't there? Let's see what that does. Trouble is, they are sometimes straight because they've been cut down the actual line. This one's got folded over a little bit. See if we can pull it out. That's it. There we go. I think we will need something over here. Trying to not have those numbers go over this, really. I don't suppose it really matters, but ooh, there's a bit of glue still on the. I don't know where I want it. Maybe I think I like it under her feet. Looks like she's standing on them then, doesn't it? Hope you can see what I'm doing. Now, with the tissue, I find, let's just move my book out of the way for a minute. I stick it directly, I put the glue, I don't like gluing the tissue itself, so I'm going to put this one down because I like where that is. So it looks like she's standing on it. So I'm going to run a bit up there. Once that's in place, then you can do the rest. You can smooth it down as you go. As I say, you don't have to stick every last bit down. It's just that I want to do this edge because it's been rolled over. And the bottom. So obviously if it's too much sticking up, then it will just, let's see where she's going. I want her there and there. Where do I want this? Out there, I think. Quite easy to stick down if you can get it underneath it. Here we go. Oh look, the lines are crooked now. I've just noticed it because the one underneath is at a different angle. Oh no. Can't have that, can we? Can't have that. That's better. I don't want it going on the line. I just don't want it showing up that it's crooked. Oh well, there we are. That's better. She'll cover up that frilly edge though, won't she? But never mind. About there, I think. So with, I've lost my tag now, buried under all this paper. Oh. So there's, the flowers are actually tucked behind her. I need to find some flowers now, but I don't know whether I've got any in this sort of colour. I don't think I will have any that my mum's cross-stitched, which is what my intention was. But I do have stickers, so stickers could work. I don't know if there's anything on here. These are from Nick the Booksmith. These are stickers. They're not the colour I want though. Do have those ones, but they're red again. Reds and pinks, and they're yellow. But we'll leave them out.